Should we just put a table in the back of the lot
For the
and
snacks?
just put the snacks?
Yeah. I'm gonna put them over there with the tea. And
Yeah.
actually, where's Sherman?
What happened to Jose?
Jorge, he's
Jorge, sorry.
he's not here today, but
Oh,
he's. Oh, are you guys gonna be standing there for the
I
major?
might stand off stage, but you can still hear my voice. I might not want to be on. I don't want to be on camera.
Okay. Okay.
But I think some of us will be on camera, like
So,
walking
okay,
up and down. But as long as the presentation is still showing, I think that'll be fine.
Okay. So the presentation is showing, like so basically from the edge of the table this way is gonna be showing.
If we get a chance to eat it. I didn't. I'll probably won't. What happened? We have camera. It's gonna be You can have it. Oh, okay. No, I don't want it. I was just checking.
Okay. Clap. Oh, Abbas. So we only have one mic, unfortunately. And then, okay. So, but for the live stream, this is the mic. But I have another one if you want it. Sure. Okay. So, okay. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Assalamualaikum. How's it going? Nice to meet you. How are you? Abdullah. Hey, whenever you're ready. Yeah, let me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. Jazakumullah khair for coming to another CES session. Those in the back, if you can please come forward and take a seat. There's a lot of seats. Brother Hassan. Okay, you're good. You're good. Sister Farhana, you ready?
I would like to do them. I can
Okay.
Do you want me to just hit next? Am I in the view still? Oh, okay. Whatever.
You can, if you want to just introduce the organization.
So Farhana, I mean, this is what I have here.
Put a little
Or what
much
you
on
sent me?
there.
Or
Yeah.
what you sent me?
Yeah, just use just one or two sentences.
Oh, so the clicker doesn't work?
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I don't think they had battery.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalam ala rasulillah. Thank you all again for joining us today. Today we're honored to have representatives from the American Muslim Educators Empowerment Network, Ameen, here to present to us. Inshallah, Ameen is a organization that it was created to advocate for the Muslim students in the public school space. And so we have our sisters here to present to us about the vision and mission of Ameen, as well as give us some information on what's going on in the public school system so that we can support our young children and students. And without further ado, Sister Farhana.
So we stand here, right? Okay. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for taking the time. So I want to start off with just saying thank you to MCC for giving us the platform, the time to launch. This is our very first introduction to the community, and we're going to share some of the work we've done and moving forward, what some of the steps are, and we're going to need your support as a community, as parents, all right?
Assalamu alaikum. We wanted to begin with a hadith, or two hadiths by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when a person dies, his deeds are cut off except for three: continuing charity, knowledge that others benefited from, and a righteous child who supplicates for him. And the second hadith, whoever takes a path upon which to obtain knowledge, Allah makes the path to paradise easy for him. Wanted to start by introducing ourselves to you individually. My name is Hannatu Abbas. I am an MCPS middle school teacher, currently teaching in Argyle Middle School. I've been an educator for over 20 years in 3 different school districts, and I have been a member of Ameen since its inception. Oh, I also wanted to introduce Sister Amani Al-Kasabani. She is not with us here today, but she is also an educator with many years of experience who currently teaches at Wooten High School.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Sister Rahan Ahmed. I've been teaching for over 15 years, and I teach at Hoover Middle School. I'm also a team leader at Hoover Middle School as well.
Assalamualaikum. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Farhana Shah, and this is my 22nd year in MCPS. So I've traveled from elementary through high school. I'm currently in central office now. I work with the department that supports the multilingual learners in MCPS, and many of our community members are now, multilinguals. So, and I guess, do you want to go ahead and introduce?
Sister Aisha Ahmed is also a part of our organization. She's a Sandy Spring Friends High School teacher. She's actually here, but she's teaching the Sunday school, and inshallah she'll be joining us when she has an opportunity to do so.
That goes to show how dedicated teachers are. So I shared some things, and I just wanted to share that by the end of this session, there are certain things we hope to accomplish. So we've introduced our members. We are going to share just a tiny bit about Ameen's story. Here, our vision, and then we are going to hear from our MCPS students about some of their experiences. And I'll share how the video came about, some of the actual MCPS teacher comments that were made, and what our children really are going through, and thus, or hence I should say, for this organization, because it's so much needed. And then one of us is going to share out, what are some things you can do at home? What are some things we can do as a community? And how do we support our teachers? Because our teachers are also experiencing, we ourselves have experienced Islamophobia. And then we do have an ask of you today, and we will share that towards the end of the session. And then we are going to share next steps, because we're going to be working in partnership. Therefore, everything needs to be transparent. So we are going to show you and share with you what are some next steps we're planning to do, so we can work together. And we will need to be committed to this cause, because it is about our kids. And if we don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. Okay? So, take this off. Sorry. I'm just not one to stand on stage. So, Ameen's story, just to give you a little bit of context and background how we came to be. So, the idea of Ameen, the idea was brewing since 9/11, right? And with reason. And we came to establish the organization in December 2023, because October 8th was the cause that got us moving. That was the momentum, that was the urgency, I should say. Because if we don't do it now, it's not gonna happen, right? So post 9/11, something's in place, and now post October 8, 2023, because we cannot forget that date. We should not let anyone forget that date, okay? So then in December, as I said, we formed, and here we are in October launching. So almost a year it took us to get together. We started off with 23 people who were interested. It trickled down to 5 of us who are willing to do the work. So that's why we need your support. 5 of us can't do community work, because we're not going to just stay in MCPS and Maryland. We're going to reach out to the DMV area, then we're going to reach out to the US globally, and then globally, because this is not a task that should be just insulated in one area. Who agrees with me? Right? And it is for our kids. And we want to empower our kids, and thus the name, the word empowerment network is in there, because we're all going to be part of this network, okay? So with that said, you heard a little bit from Brother Abdullah about our vision. Our vision is pretty simple. We want to advocate for ourselves as staff. We want to advocate for our students. Many students do need support, because not all are able to voice. So those of us who can, we need to be the voice for those who are not able to voice, the voiceless, okay? So we want to advocate, we want to build cultural divides through education and productive dialogue. So this is where my brother and I always have butt our heads sometimes. And I always tell him, I need to be grounded first as a Muslim. I need to launch my community first. Then I will reach out, and pull in our partners who are Christians, who are Jewish, to work together. Because if we don't have, our vision and mission ready to go, we can't have conversations and those dialogues, right? Everybody agree? Okay, so that is part of our vision. And then, of course, building strong connections with you, with teachers who are in public school systems, and then the bottom line is who? Can I have everybody say that all together? Who is the bottom line? Who is the bottom line? The kids. Yes, thank you. All right, so that is our vision, right? And we need you, the kids, to be partners with us. The parents, the masjids, the teachers, and your schools, okay? And I'm gonna, all right, move on. So let me give you context behind this. This is MCPS Muslim Student Voice, and it addresses some of the microaggressions that our students experience every day. You don't have to, but I'm gonna ask our children, our students, if you've experienced something maybe negative, whether it's Islamophobia, if you understand it, or something you've gone through, maybe a friend said it, teacher mentioned it, maybe they didn't know. Can you just raise your hand? Okay, so we do have a couple of kids, right? And this is where we want to hear from you, because we're gonna teach you how to advocate for yourself. Not necessarily today. Today we want to hear from you, okay? So we're gonna share this video. So this video is a collaboration between Ameen and one of the social studies department in MCPS. And this was created for 9/11. And the students on here are MCPS students. They created it, they wrote it, and then it was shared out. It was shared out with all of MCPS departments, top down. Okay? So we're gonna play this video for you. And students, I want you to watch this. Even though these are older students, think about this and think about where you are. I'm gonna ask you a question after you watch this video, okay? Can we play the video?
When people see my name, they ask me if I'm a terrorist. I was told to change my name to an American name. That's Islamophobia. That's not right. I was in science class and someone across from me said, Allahu Akbar, which means Allah is great. But then a person next to me started laughing like it was a joke. That made me feel upset. That's Islamophobia. Stand up and speak out.
I once heard another kid who wasn't even Muslim get called a terrorist because he looked Arab.
That's Islamophobia. If you see it, say something. In my elementary school, someone had told me that all Muslims are bombers. That's Islamophobia. Don't ignore it. My teacher once called me out in class and said, do you know where Osman bin Laden was found? Pakistan. That's Islamophobia. That's not right.
Somebody told me that my grandfather was the terrorist on 9/11.
That's Islamophobia. Stand up and speak out. I was entering the library at my school, and the librarian told me no blowing or burning, looking at my hijab. That's Islamophobia. If you see it, say something.
People attended our MSA meeting as a joke and made fun of us, and they called all of us terrorists.
That's Islamophobia. Don't ignore it. The teacher of my school said that women with hijab are most likely to be terrorists, and my friends stopped talking to me because I wear hijab. That's Islamophobia. That's not right. Islamophobia doesn't just affect Muslims. It affects people who have been rationalized as Muslims because of their skin color, their language, or maybe even what clothing they're wearing. Islamophobia is the hatred, fear, or prejudice against Islam or Muslims, which can lead to a pattern of hostility, discrimination, and intolerance. Almost 60% of students report feeling unsafe at school due to their Muslim identity, which is twice as many reports from other students who belong to other religions. Hate crimes and incidents targeting Muslims has been increasing nationwide. In the past year, there has been a 200% increase in Islamophobia. However, Islamophobia cases are largely underreported. This means the number is likely much higher. If you are the victim of or a witness to an stop Islamophobia in MCPS. Scan the QR code to access the anti-hate/bias incident reporting form. All responses will be anonymous. If you need help filling out the form, scan this QR code with detailed instructions. Visit the MCPS website for more information on the reporting form and how to fill it out. Say no to Islamophobia.
Oops. All right. Thank you. So hold on to, if you have a question or if you have a thought. I want to also expand on that video and share 2 comments that were shared with me by one of the students who created this video. And she mentioned that a French teacher said women who wear hijab are more likely to be terrorists. And in an English class, I just wrote down the idea behind the comment was this English teacher mentioned that some of the Muslim countries and their practices were terrible. So how does this make you feel looking at the video you just viewed? What are some thoughts? And I want to hear from our kids. Yes?
It makes me feel sad
Okay.
because I'm being called that because of my religion.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? All right. I know I saw many hands, but yeah, I can understand. Sometimes it's hard to speak in a large crowd. But thank you for sharing that. All right. So I'm going to stop here and let one of my colleagues share some statistics that we gathered.
So we have been conducting some surveys in order to get community voice, because one of the most important things is knowing what is happening to our students in the schools, what's happening to our families, and then trying to advocate, of course, based on the concerns that we have. So among the statistics that we've been able to receive are about bullying by students, and then bias and bigotry that's also been taking place within the schools towards our students. So if you take a look at the bullying side, it says that 48% of our students have been bullied by other students in schools. 31% have experienced online bullying, and then 64% have experienced in-school bullying. And then the bias and bigotries, our students are actually being bullied, as we heard from those previous 2 quotes, by the adults in the school. And this can range from their teachers in the school to support staff. So that's been occurring at a rate of 42% amongst those that were able to fill out the survey. Unfair or inaccurate teaching about Islam has been occurring at about 20%, and then 56% of those who responded have been feeling unsafe, uncomfortable, or unwelcome in their schools. This has been based on a survey that we've been conducting for about the past year, but our numbers are really small. So when we have these smaller numbers, we of course aren't able to get a full and accurate representation of what's really happening to our students in the schools and what's happening to our families. So we're really trying to push to get more of your voices through these surveys that we've been conducting, because without that information, we really aren't able to advocate for you all the way that we would really like to advocate, because we know just in our own observations as essentially the minorities within these schools, we are able to observe and see what's happening to us. And if it's happening to us as educators and adults in the schools, we know that it's definitely happening to our children who have less of a voice in these schools. So we're going to encourage you now and ongoing to please complete our surveys so that we can. One of the main things that we heard when we tried to bring some of these concerns to MCPS is we don't know that this is happening. We don't hear any of this. We don't hear your voices. We don't hear these complaints. So we need the data. And without the data, we really don't have a voice. We don't have a foot to stand on, because we're saying these things that are anecdotal, but as we know, when we have the statistics and the data to back it up, as we can see here, then we really can move forward. How many of you have had to take your time off to attend your religious services? Had to go to Eid prayer? How many of you have had to take time off, or you missed school instruction and your teachers weren't willing to give you, like, I know we can't pan the camera back there, but just about all of our students, their hands are up. How many of you know that we were off this week? Even though it said non-instructional day, we were off this week for Rosh Hashanah. How many of you are aware of that? All the, all the hands. So when Eid comes around, it is a professional development day. So that means that me and other teachers as a Muslim, what do we have to do? We have to go to work. And if we want to take that day off to observe our own religious holiday, I have to take that as a leave day. So it's kind of like a penalty for me. When the Jewish voices are more louder, they get what they need from the community. As we all know with what's been going on recently with the Israeli genocide, that's really been impacting us here, even though, you know, we are trying to advocate and support our fellow Muslims as they're being murdered. We are being told that we're wrong. And this is very prevalent in the media. It's very prevalent in our society. And of course, it trickles down to our schools. A teacher at the school where I currently work last year was put on leave for the rest of the year, essentially, because she tried to advocate for the voices that are not being able to speak for themselves. And that's the kind of opposition, that's the kind of oppression that we're up against. And without our voices to really communicate that this is impacting us and we have a voice, we are part of the community, and we are American citizens, we don't get the type of support that we need. So I'm gonna encourage you all now and again towards the other part of our presentation to please fill out this survey, because the more voices that we get, the more concern that we're able to show, the more that we're showing that we are a presence in the community and that we are impacted by these things and that we have just as much right as other communities, the more that we'll be able to support and feel better and comfortable and feel as a part of the society, our communities, and within our schools.
So really quickly, at home, how many of you all have dinner together with your families? About half the hands went up. Sometimes parents are so busy, we don't even get to talk to our students. Our families are not eating together. So one of the first suggestions we have is start talking to your kids. When the conversations stop, we don't know what's happening in the schools. And yes, just like today, some of your hands went up to share what's happening. Others of you are like smiling and you're hiding and you don't want to share what's happening in school, or you hide your identity. You don't share with each other that you're proud of who you are. You're hiding that you're a Muslim because you know what's going on in schools. And that can create a lot of problems. And so when you have a strong family and your parents are there for you, your families are there for you, you feel stronger about who you are. So that's one of the first things as Muslim community members, as parents and adults, as teachers, we need to be there for our students. I can tell you as a teacher, being a Muslim hijabi, I've seen Muslim hijabi students who are so excited to see me and be in my classroom. And I work with a Muslim counselor who's a new counselor at our school, and she is able to work with me and bring to my attention, hey, this Muslim kid wants to do this, are you willing to help? We can actually work together, and the kids are so much happier. They're like, oh, this is really cool that we can do this, because we now are able to pay attention and work together to support our kids. So I think it's really important to ask your kids, talk to them. Even though these are difficult conversations, most of the time you'll say, I'm fine. They don't want to have those conversations, but keep egging them on and talk to them. Listening to your child without judgment. A lot of the time, the easiest conversation is be strong. You're going to be fine. Don't listen to them. The bullies, don't listen to them. You're better than them. Just ignore it. It's not easy to ignore. Trust me. Our students and what the kids are going through in schools is not easy to listen to. Emotionally, some of them are going through physical issues and assaults. They get pushed around. Hijabs are being pulled off, kids get pushed around, kids get cursed at. Some kids have great experiences, other kids not so much. So how can we be there for them without them internalizing and being silenced? So just telling your kid to be strong and just depend on Allah is not always enough. It's not easy to always have to deal with that. So continuously talking to them, not judging your student, not judging your kids is very important. And then completing the online form. So kids, I don't know if you guys know this as students, but when you fill out a paper form, it doesn't always get reported. So if you fill out the online form, it definitely gets reported. So even if you're not comfortable always reporting it, have your parents help you fill it out. So this online form, it's a Google form. So it gets sent to the county, it gets reported. It can be anonymous if you want it to be, or your parents can fill it out for you. But once it gets reported, that's when things get treated seriously. Otherwise, once again, as teachers, when we try to advocate for all of you, the first thing that the county says is, there's no data. Your kids aren't complaining. None of the Muslim people are complaining. None of the Muslim parents are complaining. What's the issue? Why are you guys saying that there's problems? Because we have no complaints. There's no forms being filled out. And this is where we run into the issue. So now, inshallah, as a group, we're trying to go, and this is our first one, but we're trying to go into masjids, inshallah, one after another to try to talk to community members. And if all of you can start and share these links and talk to your relatives, I'm pretty sure all of you have WhatsApp and can share with each other these links and get your family members to fill them out as well, we can start getting data. So the next time we have these conversations with people in the curriculum board and tell them, like, why are there all these Jewish instructional materials but not ones for Muslims, or our Muslim kids are being bullied, we need to do something about it, they'll actually listen to us, because we can say there's a lot of Muslim kids, there's a lot of Muslim families, there's a lot of Muslim teachers in Montgomery County Public Schools. We'll have a voice. For school, call or email if you know that something is happening. Your child's teacher, always start with the teacher first. And paper trails are always important. Don't just have a phone call. Emailing them, finding out what the teacher is saying is very important if you feel like there's a concern. Don't just jump to the principal. Always talk to the teacher first. Let them know, like, hey, this is a concern of mine. Can we talk? Can we find out what's going on to help my student? And then go to the administrator and counselor if the issue is not getting resolved. But at least your student will know that you have their back. And that makes a huge difference, gives your child confidence as well. Making your voice heard. PTAs are a big deal. They actually do make a difference when you take part of it. So a lot of time it's really hard to make that time, but even participating or volunteering, once the parents in the community see that you're part of it and your presence is there and they know who you are, Muslims begin to be taken more seriously. They care about you. They see who you are. You're not just the stereotype that they've heard about in the media. Once you're participating and helping in your child's school, you're a valued member. And then they want to be there for you too. So it's the little things that do matter. Giving testimony at board meetings, you'd be surprised how many other religious groups do give testimony. It does help as Muslims when you do. I'll take your question in just a minute. Masjids, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Chime in one thing about the board education meetings. I just wanted to say that as a community, and we're still learning, right? We've been a little bit more passive and reactive. We can't, just go to the board meeting to complain, well, no, we don't want this. You have to take 2 steps back. You have to do your homework. You have to see what's happening before you jump and go to the board meeting, if you want to be taken seriously as a community. Does that make sense? Okay, so thank you.
And let me take a pause real quick. What was your question? All public schools would be the same. Do the same. All of these suggestions, all public schools, makes a difference. The links that we have are for Montgomery County Public Schools, but if you search up Howard County Public Schools and you search on online bullying form, you'll find it. Google's great.
It is great, and what I want to add is that what we'll do is we'll share a couple of these slides that pertain to you as a community or communities. We'll add links to all of the MD sites to make it easier, so you can share that, all right? So, yes, it's awesome, you go look it up, independent learning, but we will help you out there, especially for like parents. So we'll have all the sites of Montgomery County Schools, especially the larger sites.
And thank you so much for suggesting that, because you know what, for our future presentations, we're definitely going to include other county public schools. So thank you for sharing that. Teachers, we teach, but we learn a lot from our students. So thank you so much for suggesting that. What can you do as a Muslim community? So this is where it makes a big deal, your experiences. So inshallah, we do want to come back to our masjid community, and for the older kids, we want to actually inshallah do events later on with just you guys, you all, and ask you what your experiences are so we can find out what's going on with you guys, because I've done events with students and they've actually told me, oh, we have great experiences, we don't have any issues. But then I've also had students who have had issues. But then the times have been changing. There's a lot of other issues that are going on that haven't happened in the past. So listening to you, because like Sister Farhana said, you all are our bottom line. You guys are our future. So we need to make sure that we invest in you, hear your voices, and make sure, because we are the adults in the schools, and we want to make sure that we do what we can for you. Organizing action. So as parents, if you could, when you do get a snapshot of this survey codes, if you can also take a picture of it and share it on your WhatsApp groups amongst any other families that you know, maybe your cousins, your relatives, your friends, family friends, if they have listservs, and share it with them like, hey, this is from Montgomery County Public Schools. If you know any parents or students that are in public schools, if they can answer those survey questions and submit it, we could really use that data. And that brings us to the surveys. So the surveys, we have the student surveys. If you can take a picture of it first, that would be great. And then if you can go ahead and scan the QR code. For the students, we have one, and for the parents, we have one. So if you could share those, that would be really, really awesome. So yes. This is for Montgomery County Public Schools, yeah.
This actually applies for anyone.
Oh, actually, you know what? No, we're using this data for all of DMV area. So you know what? It doesn't matter what public school system you're in. So DC, Maryland, or Virginia. So anyone can actually use this, and we'll use this data for the entire DMV area.
And it has it on there, what school, it will ask you what school district you're in, so we can filter out the data from that, okay?
We'll do private schools too?
We do any school right now.
We'll take private schools as well. So even if you're not in a Muslim private school, go ahead. Go ahead.
My class, we shall send it out on the email.
Oh, that would be really great. Yes, inshallah.
For the parents, get that to me.
Yes, please.
Do we want to give them just time? For a
Yeah,
few
we'll
minutes?
just-
Okay, 5 minutes?
Let's take about 5 to 7 minutes. Inshallah, if you can take a picture of it and share it with your listservs, and then also take the survey, that would be really great. If you don't want to take the survey right now, at least take a picture of it, and then maybe you can scan it and complete it later if you would like, but take about a few minutes to do that.
And this way, we can help you out if there's any glitches, and, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to ask if everybody needs to know how to use that?
Okay, does everybody know how to do it? So I'm gonna, you want the QR code? Yeah. So we're modeling.
only know how to do
Our kids probably know, because you do this in class all the time, don't you? Of course we do. So, there you go.
So what you do is you take your, Assalamu alaikum, you take your phone, hold up the camera until the QR code comes into the camera. It will automatically, because there are two up here, you want to try to focus on one of them or the others, as the sister is showing you. And it will automatically pop up a link for you, a yellow link for you to tap, at least it's yellow on iPhone. And that will take you directly to the survey. You got it, Uncle?
So if you're a parent, you do this one, if you're a student, you do the one on the left.
Yes.
I need about 3 hours.
You'll be fine, inshallah. I can pull it up on your phone for you. Just so you know who I am, my name's Aisha Ahmed. I think I was introduced earlier, but I teach in 8th and 9th grade. That's my son. He's in Samir's 7th grade class. I teach up here, so I'm just taking a quick break to come down and say salam to you guys. But Farhana and I have been talking about Ameen forever, mashallah, and it's wonderful that we're finally getting to launch. And I hope, I missed the presentation, but I'm sure you guys see how important this is for all of us and for our community. So.
Thank you so much, Aisha. So we're gonna give you guys 5 to 7 minutes, so we can do this quietly. If you need help or you get stuck, just raise your hand and we'll just walk around very quickly. This is crucial, this is very important, we need to hear from you. Otherwise, this is gonna give us free time to do whatever we want, right? Otherwise, this gives us the opportunity to serve our community.
What happened after out? I remember there was a lot of things going on and we went to the judge. What happened? Where we are now?
Right now, we're I don't know how to do math.
55.
55, sorry. Okay,
55, well, how correct is it? It's 12:42 right now.
okay. Well,
So,
let's do 5 and then we'll do a time check.
do 12:50.
Okay.
That would be 7 minutes.
Rahana, can I say something?
You can only do it if you have a Gmail account.
Oh.
So you need to,
Why? Okay, so if you do have a Gmail account,
don't have a Gmail.
no, if you do, go ahead and do it. If you don't, we'll have to problem
You can
solve.
make the forms.
What do you guys?
You can just turn it off later. When you send it out to everybody else, just turn off the requirements of Gmail login.
Oh, I think we sent everybody, hold on, let me see if I can.
You can access the thing. I can do that right now.
Okay.
So
Do you want
let's
it to
see.
not be projecting while you do
Where's
this,
my
or
glasses?
Do you want it to not be projecting?
Oh yeah. How do I without messing it up? Yeah.
I mean, it's everything's on the board. So
Yes. How do we?
is this the student one or?
I think. Hold on. That's the form. That's
Okay.
the form. Can we just?
Well, do you have the things up here?
Let's see.
Just be where everyone's seeing your screen.
Oh, there's nothing there.
Okay.
And we'll. Where are our surveys? Didn't we do it here? Hold on. Okay. Go to me. There's so many of my folders. Okay, where are? There we go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the Muslim Parents Guardian
Mhm.
Survey.
So.
Settings.
I thought so too. So I'm just worried. I'm wondering if we should just.
When we've been collecting emails.
Why?
So
Oh, because it's anonymous. There should be one response, right? Only one?
yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Right here?
Yeah, but
Oh,
it is limited to one
Okay.
response, so that's fine, right?
yeah. I don't know. Okay.
Change
Again,
where
I
it
can't
says
see.
verified, click on verified,
Oh, okay.
Do not collect.
just say do not collect.
Okay.
I literally can't see because
Okay,
I
that's
don't
okay. I
have my
have
reading
my
glasses.
glasses. I do. So what else, Shibe?
All right, so it's do not
That's
collect.
done. That's
Yeah,
all.
I think it's set.
Okay.
All right, so if you
If as a student you're using an MCPS account, you won't be able to do this.
okay, and then the student one.
Because it's only Gmail enabled.
Yeah, we're doing it for the other one
But
too.
we didn't do it on MCPS, we did it on our personal, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yes, please do. Please do.
He just wants my phone.
No, it's okay.
I gotta go.
It's also on Do Not Collect.
Do it later.
For the students, it's also on Do Not Collect, so it's all anonymous.
So if you couldn't access it before, you can refresh it or click on it again, and you should be able to access it now.
Oh, there was one more?
No, there was.
Oh, it's probably the Wi-Fi issue.
Can you go back to responses?
We are learning together.
Let's Do Not Collect.
Time we're accepting.
And then
Okay, so, change that, let's see what's a limit to one response, you have to turn that off.
oh,
Yeah, now you should be fine.
okay. So we're not. Wait, do we not want to limit it to one response? I think she put the.
do, then it requires you to log in.
Oh,
You guys can just, so since this is not an audited survey,
yeah. Okay.
It might, we might have it audited. Yeah,
people will actually trust it.
yeah.
We can discuss that.
I don't know.
This is important just to get everybody going.
Then I'd rather have people log in. Yeah, because it's MCPS. They're not going to take our data seriously. We have to have it. We have to have it logged
Well,
in.
yeah, so the thing is that they're generally not going to accept what you do anyway unless it's audited
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
So you should just go through an audit process.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Deloitte or Accenture.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
can go,
she wants to keep it limited to one response.
Yeah.
well, if you keep it limited, they're gonna force a login.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't have both. Either you're gonna open it without a
Those
login.
of you who don't know him, this is my brother. Oh, okay. I'm older than him, by the way. This is the one I butt my head against, like, because he's like, you need to put everything. So we shouldn't limit the response.
Okay, I guess that's what he said.
Go back to class.
Thank you so much. Should we, what do okay, I think so too. All right. Yeah, okay.
It's only one more slide.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go, okay, I'll go through that then. Go ahead and, we'll just stay with the, go back.
Stay on the server.
Yeah. Okay.
We can do the last slide and then come back to this if we want. Why don't we finish the last slide and then come back to the survey slide?
Okay, I know some of you may be still working. What we're going to do is finish up our conversation here. And because we do want to hear from, I'll wait. Thank you. So we do want to hear from you as well because we've been talking at you a lot. So some of our next steps, these are just some things we've been thinking about. So we continue to want to mingle with our Muslim community student and teacher. We're going to continue to give you the opportunity to respond. We realize we have some glitches to fix, and you were our pilot, all right? And this is how technology works, right? We need your feedback. We need the transparency because we're working together. Nobody's an expert here. So as my colleagues mentioned, as I mentioned earlier, we are launching this in Maryland, DMV area, then inshallah, with everybody's du'as and our hard work, we will move out of the DMV area. And we hope to register as a nonprofit soon, but we wanted to launch first and get our community's thoughts and reactions first. And then our goal, and we've started the process of partnering with one or two small organizations, but we want to reach out. And some of you who were here when Dr. Jimmy Jones was here, I shared this idea with him, and he wanted to know more. So I want to know, and if you have contacts, we really want to know how to connect with people, how to get this off the ground, because it is going to involve all of us coming together. It can't be just the 5 of us. So we're going to need your help with that. And if you have any other ideas, we will share our email addresses with you so you can, just reach out to us and say, hey, Farhana, hey, Rehana, hey, Hanatu, can you help us? What about this idea? Or hey, Ameen, what do you think? This is a conversation and dialogue we want to start having with our community. So we're not reactive, we're not passive, because Allah says you have to take the first step. You don't take the step, your rewards are just going to sit there. Okay? So we need to work together. We need our kids to talk to us. We need our parents to talk. We need the communities to reach out to the professional educators or educators around your school systems. That's how we're going to solve this problem. We do have a problem. We're not participating yet. We just sit there and listen. And this has been an issue the last many, many years. But we can't do that anymore. We can't afford to do that. Because the bottom line is who? Who's the bottom line? Thank you. All right? So I think we're going to go back and give you, if you wanted to finish. Otherwise, we will fix this. We're going to share a couple of slides with sites from different public schools, as well as hopefully once we fix the links, we can start. So I am going to stop here. Do you guys have anything to add? Okay. I'm going to open up to questions, and I need my partners here. All right. Yes.
So what, let me, do I need it or you can hear me?
Oh, here. Sorry. I don't know how far it's going to go.
So if you look at the end of 2025 and you were able to meet your top 3 goals, what would they be?
Well, you know what? I'm going to throw this back out at you. We've shared our vision, right? What should our goals be? I want to hear from the parents now. The kids have been talking. One goal?
Grandparents.
Oh, grandparents. We have grandparents here. See how important our kids are.
First, I have a question. Can grandparents be part of PTA?
Absolutely.
Okay.
200%.
I'm going. I have two granddaughters.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is a wonderful program that you have started. It was very, very much needed, and we are grateful to you that you started it. And I'm disappointed at the attendance. Therefore, you have to do one more time, and we are going to make our every effort, not only more parents to come here, but also our students. We will get them out of classes and bring them here, fill the room, so you can talk to them. I have couple of the ideas. One is, are you creating a database of all the information you're getting? And that database is necessary because by saying no names, there are communities that you already mentioned are loud. I think Rihanna said that. They're loud. We are quiet. We are hiding in our houses. We need to be quiet, loud, and we needed that database, and the parents have to be involved. The parents, like you said, don't just say be strong. No, parents have to be involved, and parents have to encourage the students to speak. On 9/11, when there was so much going on against the Muslims, I personally knew so many of my community who were affected. I could not get them to report it. The county executive and the chief of police both were calling me, ask your people to report. Those people said, we don't want to report. We don't want to be visible. We don't want to be involved. Let's get involved. Please, let's get involved.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. And I do have to give credit to Samir for bringing the kids down. So thank you. Yes. So I'm gonna, I don't know how far this is gonna go.
No, I don't want the mic.
Okay.
I just have a question regarding teacher training. So in terms of, well, I work for different system, but we get, we have training, appropriate language, how to talk to different people, and blah, blah, blah. But in terms of teacher training, just quick question, do they talk about language, sensitivity, especially for kids, other religion? Do they talk, I know there's somewhat training for kids of Jewish background, there's some training, but what about Muslim students? Is there any training for the teachers? How do
So in Montgomery County it's not on. It's fine. In Montgomery County and other counties, they do training at the beginning of the school year. I'm sure you're familiar with, and it's very general. They don't give specific. I don't think they want to kind of isolate and make it seem like one group is being targeted more than another group. So I think they make it very general. In terms of the students, at least in Montgomery County, they've had this new thing for the past couple of years called Culture of Respect that the students have to complete. So the kids, they get SSL hours when they complete it, and it's also very general. It's very much the same. I think that part of that is because our voices are quieter. Like the video that we showed, as a matter of fact, it was supposed to be played for all of the students through all of the schools, but I can guarantee you, I can tell you for sure, my school did not play it, even though we're a Montgomery County public school. So it just depends, even when these trainings are given, the teachers are still individuals. So it depends on what those teachers want to do and what they take in. and they always have their own biases that impact what they do. But these trainings are given because they're so general to kind of be blanketed. They don't necessarily say, well, this is how you talk to Muslims, these are how you respect their cultural needs,
Yes.
and what have you. That's not something that they do.
Just follow up, so the best way to get involved is be part of PTA.
PTA, you don't understand. I've been in a lot of schools, alhamdulillah, and you can see the difference from the involvement with one school being very high versus low involvement, and what the kids can do in the school and what the educators can do in the school versus what they can't. And all of that comes from the PTA. You would think that they listen to the teachers and the students more, but it's really about the teachers, the parents rather, and the community members. And just to your question, there are people on the PTA who don't even have kids in the school system. So you could definitely be a part of the PTA. It's not just, and the biggest thing that we need to understand, it's not just about the students, the parents, and the teachers. A school functions based on the community. So if we don't have community involvement, regardless of whether it's a business, a grandparent, a neighbor, then there are things that they will be able to do that aren't necessarily beneficial for us.
Okay, last one. You think it's visibility of Muslim parents not being there as part of somewhat of an
Yes, for sure.
parents, like, showing up?
Muslim parents, and I'm talking to myself first, but yes, we need to show up. If we're not there, then of course, who's going to speak for us? They're not going to speak for us if we're not there.
I did want to add one thing. That was perfect, what Kanatu said about the overarching and top-down kind of having those culture of respect and the diversity trainings. However, we're lucky in MCPS that we've had an opportunity to produce a course, which is a semester-long course, and it's called Understanding Muslim Students. We have a lot of teachers who take that course. There's a training called Islam 101 for educators. That was something I did post 9/11. It's part of our equity department. So, but it hasn't been really activated yet. Again, it's post 9/11, only because we were focusing on the semester-long course. So that's something we have in MCPS. Now, I don't know about other school systems, but that's from ground up. That's people in the trench working. It's not the system. Like Hanafi said, they can't do that, right? They can't speak to. But I will share one thing that one of the students shared with me, and this, I'm not going to mention the school, but one of MCPS's high schools had a whole session on Jewish, Jewish students and how to protect their rights. However, no parent volunteers from our communities. We can see this across the board, the U.S. There is no parent involvement from our communities. Okay? Oh, thank you so much.
You can let them get first.
Yeah. Let me get the questions and I'll have you add. Yes, sister.
I was gonna ask for the bullying form that you mentioned before. So let's say you talk to the school and it's taken care of. Do you still go ahead and fill up that form, or how do you proceed about filling up that form?
Yes, absolutely. Regardless of how much it's taken care of and heard, you want a paper trail.
So fill it out first before
Yes.
you have the conversation.
Yes.
Because you never want the school to, because the thing is they'll get approached afterwards. So you never want them to feel like they solved it and then you went and filled it out. So fill it out first, have the conversation, and then let them know, I filled it out, I really appreciate that you did all of these things, so that way they feel like they did the right thing. And then there's a mutual respect now between you and the administration and the school, and that leads to a positive relationship building. Brother Samir, I know you have to take your kids to the assembly, so you want to go ahead and ask your question?
Just a couple little quick things. One is, in the response to the comment about having more people here, this is being videoed, it's being, I think, streamed on YouTube, so it's gonna get posted. I don't know, how many of you guys know we have a MCC YouTube channel? Okay, so we post all these things on there. So tell your friends, parents of other kids, tell them to go on and watch this, send them the link, so so they can all see this, because they just post on YouTube. Plus, there's a lot of other great stuff on that channel, so look through the stuff. But that's one.
Okay.
Number two was, we, like, well, I've been in Howard County, we've worked with a lot of families that have had issues with this. And I tell you, a lot of parents are reluctant to speak up. So sometimes, like one of you or somebody can work with them, can encourage them, can be beside them to help them through this process, because a lot of them don't want to do it by themselves. So they have somebody to work with them, and maybe you guys can train or they can talk to them, can help them, because that's a really big deal. Last thing is, definitely do the reporting to the county, because I know my son did a big project on this, actually, because he was on the hate crime commission in Howard County. And he said that they don't, a lot of schools don't report, and they don't have to report, because those reports are considered negative for the school. So principals and stuff will not report to the county, and it will get buried. But here's the thing, if you report to the county and you tell your school, the principal, that it was reported to the county, they will snap to it. Because they do not want to have something reported to the county that they did not act on. So you will get, if you let them know that this was reported to the county, they will do something.
And I'm hoping that our students, I'm calling you guys students right now because you're in school, you're hearing what our conversation is, right? Reporting, paper trail, right? Having conversations with your families. Okay? Anyone else? Oh yeah, Nagma.
Just add from my experience from MCPS, I'm a substitute, but I'm also a parent. I had 3 kids that went through MCPS. The reason she mentioned PTA, every single person here can go to your local PTA meetings. Every single one of you can go to your PTA meetings. Even kids can go to the PTA meetings. And I can't tell you how important that is. If you are a parent and you go to every meeting, if you are involved, your kids will benefit because everyone in the school is going to know this is the child of so-and-so who comes to the PTA meetings, who is involved, who makes a difference. And let me tell you some of the things the PTA does for the school. They, one, raise money, and that money goes to helping teachers. It goes to all kinds of things that the principal wants, the teachers want. So those teachers, they like the PTA. The PTA does things for the teachers. They give them lunches, breakfast, gifts, all kinds of things. So teachers like PTA parents. So being on that PTA, it's not just good for Muslims in general, but it's good for your specific child that is in that school. Your child will benefit from you showing up, from you showing your face, from you being involved. So every single person here should be going to all of your PTA meetings. From elementary has 1 day a month PTA meeting, middle school has another day a month PTA meeting, and the high schools have a different day a month PTA meeting. You start there. When you go to these meetings, you will learn how many opportunities there are available for us to volunteer. And when we start volunteering, and particularly because we look different, and I have done this, people listen to us more, because when you stand up and you're like the only brown hijabi amongst a bunch of white people, they all listen because we look different and they want to see what we're saying. So every single one of you, find out when your PTA meetings are, elementary, middle, high school, and start going to those. And that will make a difference. I promise you. Here you go.
Thank you, Nagma. And so you should have already gotten a membership form. It's only like $10, $15, I think, to join for the year. Fill it out. Okay, fill it out, send it back. One thing I did want to share as a parent, my son's older. I'm not going to tell you his age because I don't want to give my age away. So I started being visible when he was in kindergarten. And every time I went in to talk about him, I would always say, Imran is a Muslim. Imran is this. I'm not talking about Islam. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the child, because we want to build their identity, ground them so they can speak up. And then when he went to middle school, and every time he would, go to the next grade, I would always introduce myself to the teachers as soon as I found out, like right before school started. And then I remember his world studies teacher in 6th grade reached out, she emailed me and she said, I am so glad to have Imran in my class. He keeps me in check when we talk about Islam and when they get to those, when they talked about religion around the world. So that is what we want to make sure that our kids are grounded enough that they can advocate for themselves and that voiceless child that's sitting next to them. So that's how important it is, as Zakba said, to be a member and to be an active member, not just go in and sit there and listen, but raise your hand, take on a committee. I started with 2 committees. One was the books fair committee, which was 6 months. I was in it along with working and raising a child. So
And tell them why that's important. It brings in money for the school.
yeah. So, and we're highly organized people, I'd like to think. So that helps out. So please, I'm going to stop here if there's anything else we want to end with. And we'll be around for a few minutes if you guys want to, if you have questions or anything. No?
We could just end because that's the azan, right?
Yeah. So we want to thank everybody. Thank you so much for being so attentive and participating. And I love the way our kids engaged. We will continue, inshallah. You'll see us around. If you have any contacts, like if you have family members or friends in other masajids, please let them know, and we'd love to go out there and do a presentation. Of course, we're going to enhance it each time we do it, right? We'll learn from each community. So thank you so much. Thank you, Abdullah, for collaborating on this work. And assalamu alaikum. Oh, you have a question? The Imam has a question, yes.
I don't, it's about comments.
Okay, a comment.
So, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Sisters, jazakumullah khair, and thank you so much. You know, this beautiful information. And one thing I want to tell you, I'm behind you. I will support you. And I encourage you to do what you are doing it and do more even in registered and do, you know, this. Human beings are social by nature. When you reach out, when you participated, when you connected, people, they will respect you, especially when you are respectful to them. When you show them who you are, people, they will respect you, they listen to you, they relate themselves to you. So I agree with you 100%. And I'm so glad that our Muslim community are now coming out from the, you know, our bubbles and going out and reaching out. But still, we are just the beginning. Let me tell you this, 38 young brothers, professionals, working for the government, working for the, like Google. I invited them to my house 2 months ago. And I asked them one question. I asked them, who among you was born in Montgomery County or live in Montgomery County? 80% they said, we born in Montgomery County, we live here in Montgomery County. I asked them one question. Who among you know the 2 types of county council in Montgomery County? Guess what? They're 0. Included my own son, who is professor assistant in Montgomery, in University of Maryland. Yeah. I see illiterate in the Muslim community when it's to come politics, you know, reaching out, knowing what is going on in this country. And I think this, you know, presidential is I think the most important thing is the local one. The only way we can make difference, we should reach out, we should involve, we should educate our youth. We have to know our rights. We cannot just keep quiet.
Right. Thank you, Mom. And I do want to say, before we get to the youth, we can do it simultaneously. We need our parents, because our kids do what they see, right? And that's why we need to be grounded, our kids, so they can see us doing it. Then it might be a little bit of a reminder, or teaching them those skills because they've seen you do it already. If parents don't do it, that's why you're going to have the 0% that you just shared. So it's a community issue, and we have to work together. Okay. And we'll end with Rehan.
Yeah. So, brother, you said what 3 goals we would have, inshallah. So we've been talking about this, and even though our numbers have reduced, inshallah, we're hoping, first goal, increase the number of us working. So if we can go, that's the first thing, because it's a lot on us, just a few of us, to do this for the entire county and the DMV area. Our second goal, inshallah, is to get access to more masjids to actually invite us and give us a platform to reach more parents and students. And our third one is to get more access to students to actually speak up and say something and complete those forms so we have the data. So those are our 3 primary goals, not just our vision, but to actually get more teachers involved with us to help us out, more parents and masjids to actually let us come in and communicate and unify behind us, because our masjids are working as islands and teachers are working as islands and parents are quiet, and we want to unify everybody together and giving our students more strength to actually click the button and fill out the form. So inshallah, those are our 3 goals. But inshallah, jazakallah khair everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you for coming back to that. I think I kind of lost. All right.
Just wanted to say one thing. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, jazakumullah khair for an amazing presentation. On those 3 goals, on the second goal, I think Imam can connect you with the other masajid. Imam, can you help connect him with ICM, ISB, all the local masajid? Because I know you're very well connected there.
Actually, I'm going to gather in right now. Many imams, they will be there. I will make sure I will tell them. If you need my help, as I told you,
I'll give you my number.
No. We need you to do this for
Not
us.
if, we
I
do.
will do for you.
Okay.
You
I'll text
do
you.
this.
Yeah.
You will text me, Farhana. Here is a contact.
Yeah.
for
No
this
problem.
one.
So, yeah, he's very well connected, so let's take advantage of that. And then the second thing is, this is your home, MCC. This is the first presentation. Let's do more and more and more, inshallah. Whenever you need the space, whenever you need the time, just let us know, inshallah. We'll facilitate it for you guys.
Right,
Jazakumullah
but
khair.
we need a commitment from all, and you're gonna bring somebody else next time, right? Okay?
Can I say something like, can you please do it at a time or day when the students can actually come in? Because I have teenagers, Sundays are busy for them, maybe a weeknight or something. I want them to be here and listen to all of this. Because as you said, they like to, sometimes they're hiding. They might not even express in the school that they are Muslim. So I would like you to do it again on a day when they can come.
Absolutely, and what we could even do is right after the prayers, because they're done with school, right?
Friday night, yeah. We can do a collaboration with MYO, Muslim Youth Organization. Their program is usually on Friday nights
That's
at
really
6 or
good.
7,
I
so
like
we can do
that.
it then. We can have like a series. We can have one for the parents. We can have one for the
We can work that out.
Yeah,
then
just let me know,
together.
inshallah. Like I said, we'll set it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
12 o'clock and Friday.
Yeah. And then next time, inshallah, if we do it at this time, I'll let the principal know, inshallah. And we've done this in the past. We'll have
Yeah.
all the students come down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, inshallah.
That's great.
Yeah,
Thank you
jazakumullah
so
khair.
much,
Thank you so much.
everybody.
Barakallah
Thank you
feek.
for your ideas, your thoughts, and feedback. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Jazakallah khair.